Hi guys, Stay-Patient here. I just wanted to bring you a quick video with some tips and tricks on how to go about earning the Overclocker trophy or achievement. Now this trophy is glitched in a very bad way. Most of the trophies in this game, if not all of them, are tied to an award. So if I go to my driver ID, you can see the awards screen. If I scroll across here, all of the trophies have an award, so once the award's complete, you also earn the trophy. But this trophy is, of course, Overclocker, which is under the Elite Free Drive section. Now, as you can see, I've already earned the trophy. You can check my PSN profile for that if you like. But as you can see here, it's only 9% complete on the award screen. Now, the reason for this is because the statistics screen, or the game's sort of logging and keeping track of your stats, is glitched, whereas the awards are fine, most of them. The ones that are linked with stats, they obviously don't work properly. And that's why, as you can see on the left, it says my completion is 0%, despite the fact that I've done everything in the game apart from, I think, one trophy. But anyway, the reason for this is, of course, the Overclocker achievement is tied to your odometer, which is in the bottom left there. You can see I've driven 29.5 miles in this car during this session. So every time you turn off the game, your statistics, along with your odometer, they are reset. So every time you log out or turn the console off, or turn the game off, whatever, it seems to reset all your progress towards these statistics. So that means that the only way to get this trophy at the moment is to do the 5,000 miles, which are needed for the Overclocker achievement. Of course, it requires you to do 5,000 miles in one car. You have to do that in one sitting, which is of course a humongous nightmare. And what makes that worse is the fact that if you are inactive, if you're not pressing any buttons for, I think it's 20 minutes, but around about 10 to 20 minutes, the game will kick you out, and that will count as losing connection, and you'll lose your progress. Now, even if you rubber band the controller doing a big circle, somewhere like this on the salt flats, what will happen is the game will still think that you're inactive because you're not pressing anything different. You're holding the same buttons for a prolonged period, and it will count as inactivity and it will kick you out. So the way to do it is, there is a trick. If you go to your map when you want to take a break, of course you can leave it rubber banded throughout the day, leave it for as long as you like, but when you want to go to sleep, you don't want to lose connection and lose all your progress. So what you can do is you can go to a story mission. Now, I recommend using a story mission that requires you to use the car that you are doing the trophy with, just so that you don't need to change cars. I don't think that will cause a problem, but it may well do. So you want to find a mission that involves using, in my case I'm using a performance car. So here we've got one here. Now, I'm not going to go to the mission because I believe it interrupts the video being uploaded from the PS4. But what you want to do is click on it, go to play, and then make sure you choose solo. Now, once you choose a solo mission, because you're not in the game with any other players, your activity doesn't affect anyone else. So that's the only location in the game where you can pause the game, and it will actually pause everything, and it will not kick you out. It will not remove you from the server. So you go to a solo story mission, pause the game when you're in the mission, and you can leave the game on for as long as you like. As long as you don't lose internet connection, that will retain your progress to the trophy. Now, this still is a long-winded trophy. This video isn't a quick and easy way of getting the trophy. You still need to drive the 5,000 miles, unfortunately, and you do still need to do it in one sitting, in the sense that you can't turn the console off and you can't quit the game. But this is just showing you that it is possible. Now, of course, if you're going to rubber band it, I recommend coming to the salt flats here, and you want to be in the northwest corner. Now, as you can see, there are some humps there which will knock you off course. There are some buildings here, the little white dots. They'll cause you to crash, of course. And up here it gets bumpy, the ground up around here. And there's a road here as well, and a railway track. Now, all these things will knock you off course, but you can do a circle in the centre of this area, and there's quite a lot of room for error. So what I suggest you do is just get your elastic bands set up get the elastic band set up on the controller so it's holding the analog stick all the way to the left, and the R2 button obviously holding the accelerator button down as far as it will go. And once you've got it set up, of course the car will be doing this because you've got the elastic band on, but what you want to do is you want to stretch the analog stick back so that it's straight. You want to accelerate to over 100 miles an hour, preferably higher, maybe 150 or somewhere around about that, and then you can start steering fully to the left. Now, you want to be doing this with a performance car. Trust me, people try and use circuit cars because they believe, they're faster, so it's going to get the miles quicker, but it needs to be a performance car, and I recommend this Lamborghini. I think it's the Aventador I'm in at the moment. So absolutely 100% use a performance car. As you can see, I accelerated over 100, I was doing about 130, and I started steering fully to the left, and the car hasn't drifted once. It does, it's very grippy, so it keeps its grip and keeps driving around. It doesn't slide out, and it keeps the same circle, and on top of that it will keep climbing in speed. So I started off turning it around 150, I believe. It's now 190 pretty much, and it will hover around 190 to 200. Now you can always maybe use a bit of boost as long as you know that you've got plenty of leeway in each direction. You can use a little bit of boost to get yourself out. But as you can see over there's the road. You can see the two markers for the skill and the landmark there. You want to be missing that, and you want to be, if I get round, you don't want to boost too much like that because it will mess up your circle. But as I come around here towards the north, you want to be avoiding all of the humps in the northern area. You can see them there in the distance, but there's plenty of room for error. Plenty of leeway in each direction. So once you've got this circle set up, you can just let go of the controller as long as you've got your elastic band holding it down properly. But of course, because as I mentioned, it kicks you out of the game every 10 minutes or 20 minutes, you will need to be either pressing a button every few minutes. So if you've got a second screen and a second console, you can be playing some of the game, but just tap the X button. That's obviously on PlayStation. On the Xbox it will be the A button. It's the button that's mapped to nitrous. Now if you tap it, don't hold it down too much because it will mess up your circle, as I mentioned, but tap it and you'll see in the bottom left there, you see the nitrous sign with a little flashing signal kind of goes black and then fills up again. So you want to be tapping something on the controller, often enough to stop it kicking you out. And if you need a break, it doesn't just have to be when you're going to bed. You might need a break during the day. You want to sort of get away from the screen for a couple of hours and do what I mentioned. Just jump into a solo story mission and pause it. Now, of course, this is going to be quite arduous. This task. It's going to take a lot of time and persistence, but of course it's one of the rarest trophies in the world at the moment, so a lot of people really want to earn it. They want to get this platinum, and as things stood, it kind of seemed impossible because of the game kicking you out, but this idea of being able to pause a story mission has made this trophy possible. So if you're not willing to wait for a patch, or you think that maybe Ubisoft won't be adding a patch possibly, then use this method. Yep, I'm just trying to think if there's anything else I need to mention. Oh yes, there is one other method actually. Somebody pointed out on the PlayStationTrophies.org website. There's a method of being able to stop the game kicking you out while you're around, or even while you're in bed actually. If you have a ceiling fan, or possibly like a desk fan, something that blows air out, you can hang your controller so that it's blown constantly by the air, and the motion sensor on the controller will actually pick up the fact that you're there, or think that you're there, or think you're active because the controller's moving around. So even if you just hang the controller somewhere where it's going to be moving constantly, that will stop you from having to press the button every few minutes. Not everyone has something like that, so you may need to use the method I use, but it's a very helpful option if you do have something that will, you can hang the controller in front of, and it will keep it moving, keep the motion sensor active. And the useful thing about that, of course, is that you can leave the game on overnight and not have to pause it in a story mission. So yeah, I mean, you can use either method. You can either spread it out over several days, or you can do it in 2 days straight. I did 15 hours one day and then 10 hours the next, and got it done. The reason I did that is because although you can stop the game kicking you out, you could lose internet connection, or you could have a power cut. Anything else could possibly interrupt the game. So you want to try and get it done as quick as possible, and also you don't really want to leave your PS4 on for several days straight. But anyway, guys, I thought I'd just explain that to you. Most people won't want to spend that much time doing this trophy, but for some of you it will be an option, and you want to get it out of the way. I know I did, so I'm quite chuffed to have earned it. So I hope it's been helpful. I'm Stay-Patient. You can check me out on PSN. Add me as a friend if you like. But check out my Twitch channel. I'm going to be streaming a lot of Evolve and Dying Light soon. Check out my YouTube channel. Subscribe and like the video. And in the meantime, good luck with the game, guys, and I hope you found it helpful. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll catch you soon.